Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This is your man, Trey L again. I'm back to y'all with a part 2 on different ways Yahweh communicates. And I'm so excited for this. If y'all haven't watched the first part, y'all should go check that first part out. But I'm going into this part 2 right now because we got some extras for y'all today. Okay. So if you remember, in the first one that I did, we went over a few different subjects. We went over how Yahweh can use an angel to communicate with us. We use how Yahweh can use dreams or a person to communicate with us. And if you go back to my first ones, the one that I have, for example, for an angel would be if you go to Judges chapter 6, and then you'll see the story with Gideon, and the angel of Yah speaks to Gideon. Also, if you want to go to the old one that I gave an example for the dreams, you can go to 1 Kings 3 and 4. And then this is when you'll see where Yahweh gives slow-mo the dream, and Yahweh communicates with slow-mo through the dream. Also in that last video, for example, that I gave for a person, if you go to Jeremiah chapter 38, you can see Yahweh used a person, and Jeremiah was assisted by the Ethiopian to get out of the cistern in the situation that he was in. But I have something extra for y'all today. Today, I have 2 more ways that I'm going to add on where Yah communicate with us. One of them is going to be how Yah can communicate with us instantly. The other one is going to be how Yahweh can communicate with us through animals. And the last one, I had a bonus in there with y'all because I also used the stones for the bonus in the last one. But guess what? I also have a bonus for this one too. So y'all stick with me, and we're going to go through all this. So if you got your books, pull out your books, because this is what we do. We read the scriptures here. We don't talk from just what we have to say. We go through the scriptures. All right, so we're going to start this one off, y'all. We're going to start this one off, and we're going to go to Genesis, and we're going to start at verse 9. So this will be the situation where Yahweh communicates with a person instantly. So pay attention to this. Okay, this is Joseph the dreamer. Then the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream. In my dream, there in front of me was a vine, and the vine had 3 branches. The branches budded, then it suddenly began to blossom, and finally clusters of ripe grapes appeared. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, so I took the grapes and pressed them in Pharaoh's cup and gave the cup to Pharaoh. Joseph said to him, "Here is its interpretation. The 3 branches are 3 days. Within 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your office. You will be giving Pharaoh his cup as you used to when you were his cupbearer. But remember me when it goes well with you, and show me kindness, please, and mention me to Pharaoh so that he will release me from this prison. For the truth is that I was kidnapped from the land of the Hebrews, and here too I have done nothing wrong that would justify putting me in this dungeon." Bam. Okay. So when we pay attention and we go back and read that, when Joseph interpreted his dream, guess what? When you look at that, you can see that Yahweh communicated with him instantly. And this is such a beautiful thing about when we are vibing on the same frequency of Yah, the beautification of things that can happen. He wasn't in front of no priest, and he didn't do all this and this and that. Instantly, he was able to receive the message from Yah and give this man a correct interpretation of his dream. And Yah can do that with us in so many other cases. We just have to be in the right standing with the Most High to receive these types of gifts and to receive these types of blessings. Bam. So I want to give y'all that example. That's one example of how y'all can communicate with a person instantly. So for the next one, I will want you guys to go to the book of Judges with me, please. And we're going to go to the book of Judges, and we're going to start in verse 1. Let's see here. All right, I'll read it. Yep, and we'll just be in first one. Yep, there we go. All right, cool. So then Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, and all the people with him got up early to set up camp by Harod. The camp of Midian was north of them by Givat Mor in the valley. Yahweh said to Gideon, there are too many people with you for me to hand Midian over to them, because I don't want Israel to be able to boast against me. We saved ourselves by our own strength. Therefore, proclaim to the people, anyone who is anxious or afraid should go back home, while we stay here on Mount Gilead. 22,000 returned, but 10,000 remain. Yahweh said to Gideon, there are still too many people. Have them come down to the water, and there I will screen them for you. If I say of anyone, this one is for you, he will go with you. And if I say this one is not for you, he won't go with you. So he brought the people down to the water, and Yahweh said to Gideon, put to one side everyone who laps up water with his tongue, the way a dog does, and put to the other side everyone who gets down on his knees to drink. 300 lapped, putting their hand to their mouth. All the rest of the men got down on their knees to drink the water. Yahweh said to Gideon, I will use 300 men who lap the water to save you. I will hand Midian over to you. Let all these others go back home. So they took the provisions and the shofars of the people. Then he sent all the men of Israel away, each to his tent, but 300 men he kept. Now this is so good. I just want to read a little bit more of it, because I'm going to read a little bit more. The camp of Midian was in the valley below him. That night Yahweh said to him, get up and attack the camp, because I have handed it over to you. But, okay, y'all got to listen to this, because this is the beauty of Yahweh. Yahweh knows how he feels, and he works with us, and I love it. He says, but if you are afraid to attack, go down with your servant Purah, and after you have heard what they are saying, you will have the courage to attack the camp. So with the servant Purah, he went down to the outposts of the camp. Now Midian, Amalek, and all the others from the east had settled in the valley, as thick as locusts. Their camels too were beyond counting, like the sands of the seashore. Gideon got there just as a man was telling a comrade about a dream he had had. I just now dreamt that a loaf of barley bread fell into the camp of Midian, came to the tent and struck it so hard that it overturned the tent and knocked it flat. His comrade answered, this can be only the sword of Gideon, son of Joash, a man of Israel. Yah has given Midian and all its armies into his hands. I'll lastly finish with this. When Gideon heard the dream and its interpretation, he fell on his knees in worship. Then he returned to the camp of Israel and said, get up, because Yahweh has handed Midian's army over to you. He divided the 300 men into 3 companies. He put in the hand of all of them shofars and empty pitchers with torches with them. Then he said to them, watch me and do what I do. When I get to the edge of the camp, whatever I do, you do the same. When I and everyone with me blows the shofar, there you blow your shofar all around the whole camp and shout for Yah and for Gideon. Bam. So, if you're paying attention, like in the last one, when Yahweh is communicating with him, it's not showing him all with the priesthood and all this stuff. It is showing instantaneous communication with Yah and him on what he needs to do to bring out the task that Yahweh wants to bring about. Now, I also want to add in, y'all, I know y'all seen the movie 300. What's Sparta on that? Hey, this is your real 300 right here. So learn about our history, because Hebrew Israelites were, oh my goodness. We got some strength, people, and if this 300, if you don't read about this 300 and get amazed about what they do, y'all can also read the book of Jaspers and read about them 12 sons a little bit more. Yeah, it's some real strength in there. But to my point, on the instant, this is about communication, because we know how important communication is in any relationship. This is another way that we can identify how Yahweh can speak to us. Okay, so for this next one, y'all, let's go to about the animals. Yes, so let's go to Numbers 22. And we're gonna have some stuff to learn about some animals, y'all, and how we connect and how y'all can use them to communicate with us. All right. Then the people of Israel, verse 1. Then the people of Israel traveled on and camped in the plains of Moab beyond the Jordan River, opposite of Jericho. Now Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amori. Moab was very afraid of the people because there was so many of them. Moab was overcome with dread because of the people of Israel. So Moab said to the leaders of Midian, look, this horde will lick up everything around us the way an ox lifts up grass in the field. Balak, the son of Zippor, was the king of Moab at the time. He sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Bor, at Petor by the Euphrates River, in his native land, to tell him, listen, a people has come out of Egypt, spread all over the land, and settled down next to me. Therefore, please come and curse this people for me, because they are stronger than I am. Maybe I will be able to strike them down and drive them out of the land. For I know that whomever you bless is in fact blessed, and whomever you curse is in fact cursed. The leaders of Moab and Midian left, taking with them the payment for divining, come to Balaam and spoke to him the words of Balak. He said to them, stay here tonight, and I will bring you back whatever Yahweh tells me. So the princes of Moab stayed with Balaam. Yah came to Balaam and said, who are these men with you? Balaam said to Yah, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent this message. The people who came out of Egypt spread over the land. Now come and curse them for me. Maybe I will be able to fight against them and drive them out. Yahweh answered Balaam, you are not to go with them. You are not to curse the people, because they are blessed. Balaam got up in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, return to your own land, because Yahweh refuses to give me permission to go with you. The princes of Moab got up and returned to Balak and said, Balaam refuses to go with us. Okay, so now y'all get what's going on. He's trying to get Israel to be cursed. So let's go down to verse 21, and then we're going to finish the concept of what's going on in here. Yep, let's go to verse 21. Where is okay? So you'll catch on by what's going on. So Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with the princes of Moab. But Yah's anger flared up because he went, and the angel of Yah stationed himself on the path to bar his way. He was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. The donkey saw the angel of Yah standing on the road, drawn sword in hand. So the donkey turned off the road into the field, and Balaam had to beat the donkey to get it back on the road. Then the angel of Yah stood on the road where it became narrow as it passed among the vineyards and had stone walls on both sides. The donkey saw the angel of Yah and pushed up against the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against the wall. So he beat it again. The angel of Yah moved ahead and stood in the place so tight that there was no room to turn either right or left. Again, the donkey saw the angel of Yah and laid down under Balaam, which made him so angry that he hit the donkey with his stick. But Yah enabled the donkey to speak. And it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Balaam said to the donkey, "It's because you've been making a fool of me. I wish I had a sword in my hand. I would kill you on spot." The donkey said, "Hold on." The donkey said to Balaam, "I'm your donkey, right? You've ridden me all your life, right? Have I ever treated you like this before?" Balaam, like a man, he like, "No." He admitted. Then Yahweh opened Balaam's eyes so that he could see that the angel of Yah was standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed his head and fell on his face. The angel of Yah said to him, "Why did you hit your donkey 3 times like that?" So angel concerned about how we treat animals. You right. "I have come out here to bar your way because you are rushing to oppose me. The donkey saw me and turned aside these 3 times. And indeed, if she hadn't turned away from me, I would have killed you by now and saved it alive." Balaam said to the angel of Yahweh, "I have sinned. I did not know that you were standing on the road to block me. Now, therefore, if what I am doing displeases you, I will go back." But the angel of Yah said to Balaam, no. Go on with these men, but you are to say only what I tell you to say." So Balaam went along with the princes of Balak. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So what we have got to see in here, we have got to see an example of how Yah can communicate with us using animals. Now, it may be a certain way because, who knows how they can hear their animal communicate, but they definitely communicate with them. And we have also seen in there that Yah is concerned with how we treat animals as well. And if y'all didn't catch it already, we're talking about communication, right? Communication through our senses, our hearings, and all these things, right? We can see in here that there is also a communication for the bonus of this video of our spiritual senses or spiritual vision that Yahweh can use to help communicate with us. As we just read on here, he was on the road. The donkey seen the angel the whole time. The donkey like, nah. He doing all this. It's an angel right there with a sword out. But guess what? He couldn't see it. So it wasn't until Yahweh opened up his eyes, his spiritual senses. Yahweh communicated with him on a higher level. And now he was able to see what was really going on. So I also want to encourage you by seeing this, that don't put some of your people down that, you know, they tell you that they have some of these spiritual experiences where they seen different things in the spiritual world or whatever it is. Now, yes, I do understand some people be lying and some people is crazy. Okay, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, as we can tell from scriptures, that there's times where that happens and that individual might be 100% correct on what they are seeing. So I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all for taking the time. And this is different ways that Yahweh communicates part 2. We have the angel. Yahweh can use the angel to communicate. He can use our dreams to communicate. He can use a person to communicate with us. He can communicate with us instantly. He can communicate with us, and you can go back to the first video where he helps and he uses the stones. And then Yahweh can also use animals to communicate with us. And then for that last bonus one, Yah can reveal us with these spiritual senses and get us to see things that we probably normally wouldn't have seen. I want to thank y'all, my people, for taking the time to watch this video. Check out YHWH Heals 11. Check out YouTube, Yahweh's Exile Empire, also on Podbean, Hebrews in Exile. This is what we do here at First Tabernacle Fellowship. We are probably one of the only congregations that you can find on the stream, probably around the world, in majority, that we worship the Most High only, and we keep his Torah, and we do not add to it. And we try the best that we can in this exile to live by the Most High's ways. Because salvation and redemption comes through keeping Yah's Torah. Nothing else other than that. Thank you, my people, for your time. I hope you learned something from this video. This is your man, Trey, and I'll come to you guys with a part 3 soon. Thank you so much. Peace and love. Shalom.